Hello, my name is Adrena and I am the owner and accountant here at Accounting by Adrena LLC. I am a QuickBooks Pro advisor and today I would like to walk you through how to reconcile your bank accounts in QuickBooks Online. Now, first I want to make sure that you already headed over to my YouTube channel and have watched my previous YouTube video on how to use QuickBooks Online, because over there I'm going to make sure that you know how to do deposits, how you do checks, and how you match things in QuickBooks Online. All of these transactions. So you need to make sure that you head over there, know how to do that first, and then come back to this video and we're going to talk all about bank reconciliations. Now, also, I want you to make sure to have a pen and paper handy because you're going to need some very, very important things in order to reconcile your bank accounts. I want to make sure you have your bank statements ready, and I want to make sure that you know every single transaction on that bank statement. If there is any question on that bank statement that you have, you're not ready to do your bank reconciliations quite yet. Are we ready? Let's dig right in. All right, so what you guys are looking at right now is a QuickBooks test drive version. So this is showing a sample company. I had minimized the sidebar here. And you can just minimize that back just by clicking on this 3-bar item. So when we want to reconcile the bank accounts, we need to make sure that we are clearing all of these transactions here on the checking account, these transactions on the savings account, and these transactions on the MasterCard. And if you've entered all of your checks and deposits properly through that add button from my previous video, then it will be easy because items will just automatically match. Like QuickBooks tries to be as intuitive as it can be. And so they already try to identify what the item is matching to. So we're going to run through this fairly quickly. So when you see an item that says 2 records found, that means there could be 2 instances of this same type of transaction. And for a car wash, maybe you go to the same car wash every month and it comes through like that. So this one here is on 9/7 for $19.99, and that matches with this date and it matches with this amount. So I'm going to make sure that I click on match here. And then this bill payment here is on 9/6 for $2,000, and the bank detail here says Brosnahan Insurance Agency for $2,000. Match that. So when you start getting the hang of doing all of this stuff, it becomes routine and you know exactly where to look for the bank detail, you know where to look for the date, and you know where to look for the amount. So everything becomes like a routine, and that's the point. You want to get into a routine of all of this because that will just make this process go a lot smoother. And if there are items that come through like this that are not matching, that's when you consult your bank statement and you consult anyone else who might be writing a check and ask them, okay, where did this check come from? Like, what are you purchasing? So when I say QuickBooks tries to be smart, see, it's already pre-populated some items here that we've already established. A1 rental goes to job materials. So I'm going to go ahead and click add, and then see how it kind of like lit up again. So I'm going to click add here. It's going to ask to do a rule. We're not going to go through that right now, so I'm going to X out of that. These items here, books by Bessie, so maybe that's an office supply. So I'm going to put office expenses here. You would know specifically what these are for. For the purpose of this, we're just going through it. I'm going to say this is office supplies again. Most of the time that's what it is. Okay, so this says chins, gas, and oil. The vendor is already set up here in QuickBooks. And this is going to be fuel. There we go. Click on add. And Tim Phillip Masonry. So this would be an instance where it's like, okay, well, I'm not entirely sure what this is going to be for. That's pretty large of an amount. So we're going to go uncategorized, and then we're going to ask around and see who did that purchase. and what it was for. Okay. So when we have all of the items that are currently in the banking screen completed, QuickBooks is going to tell us that it is all done, which is great. Now you can tell the bank balance that's pulling through from your bank into QuickBooks is running a negative balance, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend that as a business practice. We're just going to go with it for now. But now we just want to make sure that we get the savings account done. This is another deposit, which is great. And then we're not going to do the MasterCard now, but it would be very similar to reconciling the bank accounts for your checking and savings accounts. A couple of quick things about this particular screen. You can minimize the sidebar here by clicking these 3 bars here. You can also minimize this top part here, clicking that down arrow. Sometimes this kind of gets stuck. But this is kind of like to minimize, to maximize your screen so you can see more detail here. So when you want to bring it back in and see what the actual bank balance is compared to what QuickBooks balance is, then you would click on this little arrow here. It's very simple. All right, let's get to it. So there are a couple of ways that you can go to the Reconcile Your Bank section. And if you were to click the gear icon up here and click on Reconcile, that is one way to get there. Sometimes these screens pop up and you can just click Don't Show Me Again and X out of there. You can also minimize this bar here so you can see more of this reconciliation screen. So let's say I made a note of what the ending bank balance was as of 9/30/19, and then I'm going to click on Start Reconciling. So you want to make sure that you have the correct account selected here. It's really just that simple. Start reconciling. So again, it's going to show you these little boxes here. You can just close them out. Again, you can kind of minimize and maximize here. It's going to show you at this top part what you wrote in as your statement ending balance, what the beginning balance was as of like 9/1, and then the total amount of payments and the total amount of deposits are summarized here, and then the difference here would be the cleared balance. This difference is basically saying you're not reconciled yet, so we're going to get there. So when you see this screen and all of these little empty bubbles here, you just want to make sure that you go through and individually select the items that you see cleared on your bank statement. This is really important because when you have a lot of items that are coming through to your bank statement, you just want to make sure that all of them are very matchy-matchy. Some of this will already be done and captured when you do the bank clearing part on this banking tab over here that I showed you earlier. So some of these will already be selected because of that, because you've selected match. So once you have selected all of the items here that have cleared against your bank statement, this is how it should look. It should show a difference of $0. That means everything on your bank statement is accounted for in QuickBooks, and vice versa. Everything in QuickBooks is accounted for on your bank statement. So that is the ideal. Now, if there is a situation where there is a difference here, that is when you want to start looking into what happened, what went wrong. Maybe you transposed an item and instead of writing 622.46, you wrote like 262.46 or something like that. So you want to make sure that you can identify what went wrong. When all is said and done, you just click on Finish Now, and then success, you've reconciled your account. So when you come to QuickBooks, you're looking at your dashboard, right? And we went through the gear icon to reconcile, and that was how we reconciled the bank statement. However, there's another way that you can do it, and we're going to do it for the savings account. So there's 2 ways that you can get into the banking screen. You can click on this quick item here, or you can click over here and click on banking, and then it'll show you everything. So on the savings account, which you want to reconcile on a monthly basis as well. So you want to do all of these accounts that are coming through on your banking screen, essentially. You can go to the register and see what like the individual line items are. And this says the ending balance is 800. So we're going to click on Reconcile up here, which is a shortcut. This is the preferred method that I like to do because it just makes it so much easier to kind of switch back between the bank register, which is like individual line item detail, and then the reconciliation screen. So we're going to say the ending balance is 800 as of 9/30/19 and start reconciling. So you can see that there was only one transaction that needed to be cleared, and then click on Finish Now, and that's it. So savings accounts should be a lot easier than checking accounts because the number of transactions are so minimal. I mean, there shouldn't be that like a long list of transactions like we saw on the checking side of things. And then it says you're done. So once you're done with all of that, then you can start working on your financial statements. I hope this was super helpful for you guys. Make sure that you are reconciling your bank accounts in QuickBooks Online every month, that you do this process prior to producing your financial statements. And sometimes there's going to be hiccups, but you want to make sure that you stay on a monthly schedule in order to get all of these financial statements produced on a timely and accurate basis. Also, if you like this video, let me know what you like about it by commenting below. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel so you are the first to know about further YouTube videos all about QuickBooks coming right up. Thank you.